is Nick Gauerluck. I'm the founder of Print Profit, and we're building the profit engine behind the global printing industry. If you've ever seen the movie or the book Moneyball, what Billy Beane and the Oakland A's brought to Major League Baseball, we are doing for the global printing companies and all the companies within it. So let's step into that. The printing industry doesn't sound so sexy at first glance, I know. There's a lot of challenges in running a commercial printing company. A, you've got a factory with huge overhead. You've got skilled labor, which is expensive. You have raw materials, which is increasing. And because you're a custom manufacturer, you're serving hundreds of companies doing thousands of products. And after putting all that risk on the line, the average earnings before taxes in the United States for a printer is only 2%. 2% on average, and that's not even factoring in paying your taxes. That's nuts. But it gets worse. You put all that on the line, and the little profit that you generated, these business owners around the world, they don't have clarity where it's coming from because they're doing thousands of products. So talk about an insane situation for a global industry. So that's what Print Profit is. It's a modern SaaS platform that's bringing new solutions, new technology to this big industry to take back control, see your business with clarity, okay? Uncover opportunity. Like my friend Jakob said in Denmark, Nick, I don't need another dashboard that tells me I suck. I need on a silver platter insights of how I can move the needle. And then more importantly, getting back on offense and not defense and saying, I'm gonna grow this business. What we do with this software platform is we fundamentally transform how these owners run their business. The bulk of my industry finds out in mid-December if they made or lost money in November. Could you imagine if Minnesota sports teams found out weeks later if they won or lost? We know they lost, but come on. That's crazy. The way they come up with their pricing, it's all based off of their cost to produce it, right? It's 2025. There's better technology to give better insights on the market. Who's the customer that they're serving? Where's the business in terms of performance? And finding that sweet spot of going to market. The profit insights, instead of running these big factories off of gut feeling, it's down to precision. This is where you're making or losing money, and here's how to financially engineer it to double down and bury the bottom line. And I can go on, but fundamentally, as I said, this rallies an executive leadership team and investors to get on the same page so they can double down their money and their strategic acquisitions to get better performance. Why us? Why now? I fell into printing by happenstance in high school here in Roseville, and it's been a wild journey, traveling over 40 countries, 4 international relocations, and working for some of the biggest printing companies and suppliers around the world. And I'm gonna tell you a secret. These owners behind closed doors around the world will globally say, Nick, I don't know with certainty where I'm making or losing money. And through my background, I know more than anyone else in my industry just the clarity of this challenge and the know-how to bring a better solution to market. And this works. This is Mika, a printer we worked with in Belgium, and she sold her business in November, and I'm so proud of her. And you can see her commentary saying using this software, they've empowered us to make better decisions and become more profitable. We're in the Netherlands. Leon sold his business to Vistaprint, now known as Simpress. And as you can see, I spent 2 nights with no sleep in the Netherlands. We looked at his numbers, put it in the software, and that Monday, he started getting on the phone, renegotiating his contracts, and he had a successful exit. He revolutionized his understanding of profitability. Steven, he was featured in Forbes a few months ago. He's the leading printer in the United States for NIL and all the student athletes monetizing their name, image, likeness, and their goods. He's got the printing company in Chicago that's leading it. And through working with him, he's seeing his business with more clarity than ever before. Fun fact, he found Mark Cuban's email on Google, cold emailed him, and Mark's invested over $2 million in his business. The print market is massive. It's bigger than the music industry. It's bigger than the coffee industry. It's bigger than film. Huge, but no one thinks about it. In the US alone, over 20,000 printers, and the bulk of it is small mom and pop shops. And our software is helping serve small, medium, and large printers in this industry. And it goes back to our mission to move this industry forward. The business model is pretty straightforward. We have a one-time custom integration fee and then a monthly software subscription. The competition landscape, at face value, there's no one in the world who's offering a software like this. The biggest challenge is old tradition and closed-minded thinking. Thankfully, when you have 2% earning before taxes, after years of running that business, you start to come around if someone's got a better idea. And really, where all the data lies in a printing company and their information systems, that's where the data is. We are grabbing it and taking it to the next level, but we don't own the origin of that data. And really, we're leading a revolution in this industry. It's more than a software business. We're building the overall platform for education, for thought leadership, for community and solutions, how to move the needle. And why I do this, who I do this for, it's our first subscriber out of Baltimore who moved to the US from India, and his biggest goal running his small t-shirt shop is to retire his parents, right? I do it for the demo call 2 weeks ago where a woman broke down crying. She's tired of running her business on gut feeling. I do it for the company in Boston who's a third generation printer and wants